A Ghanaian parent decided to send their child, their son, their 14-year-old boy back to Ghana, and guess what? He sued. He sued their asses. He sued them. About when the boy was about 12, 13 years old, he became nonchalant with his education. This is a boy who was described to be very intelligent, very smart, hardworking, well-behaved. Although he was born in the UK, he is originally from Ghana. His parents are Ghanaians. All of a sudden, this boy, they say teenagers, started misbehaving, was becoming nonchalant with his academics. He was becoming, uncontrollable, as his parent described him. Unfortunately, I cannot mention his name or attach a picture or the name of his parent because that is the ruling from the courts. He decided to then sue his parents because once his parents noticed all these changes in the boy, they decided it was time for them to trick him back to Ghana. Before all this took place, this boy has been reported to have been found with sharp objects I will describe as, let us use for the sake of this video and the guidelines, let us call it wood. The sharp object you use to cook and cut things, let us describe it as wood. This boy has been found not too long before then to have hidden wood in the garden with the aim of being able to take it and to use it. This boy has been noticed to be a part of a gang in the UK who are now becoming a threat to not just him, but to other people. He has been reported to the police. He's escaped a few times. And one thing that he said was that, up to a point where this boy was afraid to go to school. Like he had to stop going to school because he was afraid that the other gang, I don't know if they were his gangmate or the other gang, a group of gang are now trying to unalive him. And he said he was not going to go back to school because these people really, really want to unalive him. I'm sure this must have sparked fear into the spine of his parents. The father who described the situation as, I do not want my son's case to be another case of a black child who is going to be unalive in London or in England. I can imagine as a parent, I have my own son as well, having this fear that your child will go out and will not return. I'm sure this is one of the things that must have sparked the fear of this parent to decide the next thing they were going to do was to trick him down to Ghana. They tricked him down to Ghana, enrolled him in Ghana. Before he left the UK, he actually started homeschooling where he will have his school online, and just because he's scared to go to school. Now he has then been tricked back to Ghana. He was tricked. You see how I'm emphasizing the word tricked? Back to Ghana. He is now in Ghana. The boy now claims he then now went to the British consulate and claimed that the security or the guardian in the school where he is have not been so kind with him. I think they've been punishing him or they've been harsh. You know how it is. And now he wants to sue his parents for abandoning him, for tricking him, and for putting him in a country where he doesn't count as his home. I do not blame him because, of course, he was born in the UK. He has seen the UK as home to him. He will not be able to relate to anything in Ghana. The way he speaks, the food, the culture, the discipline, the lifestyle, the respect, everything. I'm sure there's nothing he'll be able to relate to. But that being said, even though this is not his home, it is his home. And if the opportunity that his parents are trying to give him to come abroad or to be born abroad and be successful, the sacrifices we make for our children, if this boy has decided it is not worth it, why would he want to remain in the UK? When knowing fully well that his life is at risk, the father is afraid that he is going to lose his son. Nobody wants to have that feeling. And although the judge, which I'm actually excited and happy for, I was actually happy when I saw this news, then the judge said, it is true that it is not nice, it is unfair the way he was conned, like he was conned, he was deceived to go back to Africa. It is to the best interest of the boy. And the judge has now concluded that it is safer for him to be back in Ghana than to come into the UK because his life is at risk. Not just to him, but to other people, because now he has become like his new hobby is now going about with wood. And unfairly, out of statistic, it is described, or it has been found that our children, you know what I mean, our children are the highest number of children who have been found with woods, or who have used it on people, or has been attacked with these things. So why would a parent want to risk their life? I'm doing this video so that you can share it or send it to your family, to your friends, to your teenage children. Show them, because even according to the judge and according to the write-up, the write-up says it is true that we immigrants were actually scared of disciplining our children because we are afraid of what the law says and how it will be perceived as immigrants. This is actually a form of relief to us parents, to know that it is not as bad as it sounds, and it is not a straightforward thing. Your case is going to be handled individually, because I know a parent who currently are a victim of this because they were not quick enough to take action. Now the child is no longer in their care. It was a serious case. I don't want to talk too much on this, but I'm doing this video so that you can share this with your son or with your daughter. I told my son about it before I came to make this video. We discussed the topic, and my son was like, oh, how will anybody even want to be a gang member? Blah, 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 blah. It's not cool. Like, let them know that God forbid they decide to go and change. God forbid they decide to start doing funny stuff, and you decide to maybe take them back, or you decide to, I don't know how you're gonna try to discipline your child. If they think they can report you to the authority, I'm not saying you should abuse your children. I'm not saying you should treat them, the way we used to treat children kind of back home. But I'm just saying, tell your child, if your child decides they think they can misbehave because they think they're above the law, this is an example. Show them this video. Show them the article. I may be leaving a link of this to this article in the description box. Show them, let them read it, let them see that the law will still catch up with them. They may find themselves back home in Africa where they will have that training they refuse to have here. And when they think they can fight back, they may not be lucky. Like this boy. The judge said, decision falls within what I regard as the generous ambit of parental decision taking, in which the state has no dominion. So that means the state, the law, whatever, has no dominion over what the parent decided at the time. Justice Anthony Hayden said in his ruling. While every teenager has challenged their parents and perhaps even fantasized about dragging them to court, the case in the London High Court may reveal less about familiar tension than it does about the concerns some immigrant parents have for their children, arising fear about, wood crime in Britain. A judge ruled on Thursday that they were acting in the best interest of this child. The boy, now 14, I told you he was 12, 13 at the time when he was shipped back, took his case to London High Court after his parents duped him into traveling in March of last year to the West African nation. He went to Ghana, their home country. The boy, however, was born in Britain, which I've already explained. I argued to the court that he is way worse off educationally, socially in Ghana. How are you way worse off? I don't want to be laughing, but the parents were fearful that this boy was becoming entangled in a gang and having failed to change his behavior. Two London parents tricked him into traveling to Ghana. Where they enrolled him in a strict boarding school and left him there. May God help us. May this not be the case of our children. May our children obey the laws and let them know that it is for their own good. I was just telling my son, I said, this is just for your own good. Whatever I'm telling you today, tomorrow, is for your own good. Don't think you can join bad gang and what people do here. These people are from here, most of them. They don't have anywhere to go. You cannot ship them to anywhere. When their life ends, somebody will take care of their lives. But we came from somewhere very far. We flew. Do you know how many seas, how many oceans we crossed before we got here? And then he had the audacity to sue his parents. I've seen so many cases. May God help us that as we're fighting to have a better life for ourselves and our children, it will not become a disaster. Because what is all this? What is all this? Show this to your child so that they can know that if they decide to start misbehaving and God help you, you're able to trick them back to Africa, or you decide to discipline them, nothing. The court will not fight for them. As long as you're not being unfair to this child. May God help us. What do you think? Will you blame the parents, or do you think it's just fair enough? Do you think it's right? I would do it. I would do it. God forbid anything like this happens to me or my family. But I will do it. Please remember to like, subscribe, click on the notification bell for more video, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm your humble baby girl, Gloria Oteko. If you like content like this, anything that has to do with the UK tips and tricks, please like, follow, subscribe. See you later.